Why reading is important. Lily dreamed of global connections, but a daunting hurdle blocked her path: speaking English. Despite understanding grammar rules and possessing a decent vocabulary, forming sentences out loud felt like an impossible task. Her heart would pound, palms sweat, and words would simply vanish into thin air whenever she tried to articulate something. This silent struggle often left her feeling isolated and incredibly frustrated. She envied those who conversed effortlessly, sharing ideas and laughter in English. For Lily, fluency remained a distant, shimmering mirage, perpetually out of reach. She knew the theories, aced the tests, yet practical application caused immense anxiety. The chasm between knowing English and speaking it confidently seemed vast and insurmountable. This was her biggest challenge. The frustration mounted with every missed opportunity to engage in conversations. She longed to express her unique thoughts, share her vibrant personality, and connect deeply with English speakers. The inability to articulate her mind effectively felt like a heavy weight, suppressing her true potential. It was clear a new strategy was desperately needed for real progress. One quiet afternoon, while scrolling online for solutions, Lily stumbled upon an article titled, "Why Reading is Important." The headline intrigued her instantly, promising insights she hadn't considered before. It wasn't about grammar drills or rote memorization, but something deeper, more foundational. This accidental discovery marked a significant turning point for her. The article meticulously explained how reading builds vocabulary organically, exposing learners to new words in context. It also clarified how consistent reading naturally imbues one with diverse sentence structures and authentic English expression. This method seemed less like studying and more like absorbing language naturally, a revelation to Lily. Reading, the article emphasized, was crucial for truly learning English comprehensively, not merely for passing examinations. It developed an intuitive understanding of language nuances and rhythm, far beyond isolated rules. This holistic approach resonated deeply with Lily, offering a tangible starting point for her fluency journey. It was a fresh perspective. Lily decided right then to embrace reading as her crucial first step towards conquering her speaking anxiety and achieving fluency. She understood that a strong foundation in understanding was paramount before attempting vocalization. This commitment marked the beginning of her transformative journey, filled with small, consistent efforts. She was determined. She began with simple children's storybooks, focusing intently on understanding every word and sentence within its broader context. There was no pressure for speed, only for comprehension and enjoyment. This gentle introduction made the process less intimidating and surprisingly enjoyable, fostering a positive relationship with English text. Her wise online mentor, who shared similar language learning experiences, then gave her a remarkably specific piece of advice: talk in English just 1 page per day. This simple, achievable goal immediately resonated with Lily, making the colossal task of learning English feel surprisingly manageable. It offered a clear, daily objective. This specific, daily goal seemed far less daunting than vague, grand targets like, become fluent. 1 page felt completely achievable, a small victory she could celebrate every single day. It built momentum without overwhelming her, fostering a sense of continuous progress and quiet determination. This was the precise encouragement she needed. So, every single morning, without fail, Lily read a single page from an English book aloud. She meticulously focused on her pronunciation, trying to mimic the sounds she heard in audiobooks. This daily ritual started slowly, but its cumulative effect would soon become remarkably profound. It was a commitment. This consistent daily ritual of reading aloud slowly but surely began to build her foundational confidence and fluency brick by brick. Each pronounced word, each understood sentence, contributed to a growing sense of capability. It was a quiet, internal revolution, preparing her for the next crucial stage of development. The English words, once foreign and intimidating, gradually started feeling less alien, more like her own natural thoughts. The rhythm and intonation became more intuitive, less mechanical. This integration was a subtle yet powerful transformation, signaling that her brain was truly adapting to the new language. It was a fascinating process. Soon, reading just one page became second nature, a comfortable and eagerly anticipated part of her daily routine. It was no longer a chore but a moment of quiet personal growth. This sustained engagement strengthened her passive vocabulary and comprehension significantly. The foundation for speaking was steadily being laid. However, Lily soon realized that while reading was immensely beneficial for comprehension, it alone would not magically make her speak fluently. Understanding was one thing, but producing spontaneous, coherent speech was an entirely different challenge altogether. The fear of vocalization still lingered, albeit subtly. The next crucial challenge for Lily was to actively convert her steadily accumulating passive knowledge into dynamic, active speech. She needed a bridge between understanding and expressing herself confidently. This transition required a new approach, something beyond silent reading. The pathway to speaking was still hazy. Her insightful mentor, sensing Lily's readiness for the next phase, offered another ingenious suggestion: how to talk at home to yourself. This simple yet powerful technique seemed revolutionary, promising a safe space for initial vocal experimentation. It was a truly pivotal piece of advice. This idea seemed quite odd at first, speaking aloud to an empty room or her reflection in the mirror. Yet, Lily, driven by her desire for fluency, bravely decided to try it. The initial awkwardness quickly faded as she embraced the freedom of unjudged practice. It was surprisingly liberating. She started by describing her mundane daily activities, narrating her thoughts, and even planning her day, all entirely in English. "I am making coffee, I think I'll read now," she would articulate softly. This continuous self-dialogue fostered immediate linguistic recall and articulation practice. This private, no-pressure practice session removed the debilitating fear of making embarrassing mistakes or facing judgment from others. It was her personal linguistic laboratory, a sanctuary where errors were learning opportunities, not sources of shame. This uninhibited environment boosted her confidence immensely. It provided Lily with invaluable opportunities to experiment freely with new phrases, complex sentence structures, and various expressions she had encountered in her reading. She could stumble, restart, and refine her utterances without any external pressure. This iterative process was essential for mastery. She diligently practiced describing every object around her apartment, narrating her actions silently or aloud. "This is a red cup, I am pouring water," she'd articulate. This constant active recall strengthened her vocabulary and improved her descriptive abilities significantly. It felt like playing a language game. This sustained self-dialogue proved absolutely vital for building and strengthening her internal linguistic pathways. It trained her brain to access English vocabulary and grammar automatically, without conscious translation. It was a direct route to intuitive communication, bypassing her native language. Crucially, this practice helped Lily transition from laboriously thinking in her native language and then translating, to directly formulating thoughts and ideas in English. This mental shift was a game-changer, dramatically increasing her processing speed and conversational fluency. It was truly transformative. The self-talk phase truly solidified Lily's basic conversational abilities and instilled a newfound sense of linguistic independence. She no longer felt completely reliant on external prompts. This internal preparation was the key stepping stone to engaging with others confidently and fluently. Now, after weeks of diligent self-practice, Lily felt a distinct sense of readiness, a quiet confidence emerging within her, to finally interact with another person in English. The thought was still a little daunting, but no longer paralyzing. She was ready for the next level. The natural progression led her to the next essential step, learning how to talk to people in pairs. This felt like a significant leap from solo practice, yet the thought was less intimidating than before. She sought a supportive environment for this crucial stage. Following her mentor's advice, Lily decided to find a language exchange partner online. She soon connected with Alex, another dedicated English learner who shared her aspirations. They quickly established a comfortable rapport, eager to support each other's progress. It was a perfect match. They agreed to chat for 15 minutes daily, focusing on simple, low-pressure topics like their day, hobbies, or recent news. The short duration made it manageable and prevented exhaustion. This consistent, brief interaction was designed for incremental improvement. It built a strong routine. These structured paired conversations, though initially challenging and sometimes awkward, proved to be incredibly rewarding experiences for both Lily and Alex. They provided real-time feedback and an authentic conversational rhythm. Every small success fueled their motivation further. During their daily calls, they diligently practiced asking open-ended questions, formulating coherent answers, and confidently sharing their personal opinions. They actively listened, offering gentle corrections when necessary. This reciprocal learning environment accelerated their progress tremendously. The immediate nature of paired conversation forced Lily to respond spontaneously, overcoming her previous hesitations quickly. There was no time for overthinking, she had to articulate her thoughts on the spot. This dynamic interaction sharpened her conversational reflexes significantly. The safe, supportive, and non-judgmental environment created by Alex and Lily truly boosted her confidence significantly. Knowing they were both learning, they freely made mistakes and celebrated small victories together. This mutual understanding was invaluable for her growth. They frequently incorporated simple role-playing scenarios into their sessions, such as ordering food at a restaurant or asking for directions in a new city. This practical application of English made her feel genuinely capable and deeply engaged. It prepared her for real-life interactions. This hands-on application of her English skills in simulated real-world situations made her feel genuinely capable and deeply engaged. The abstract rules of grammar transformed into practical tools for communication. It solidified her belief in her own evolving abilities. She also keenly learned the natural rhythm of real English conversation, including appropriate pauses, intonation patterns, and common filler words. This immersive experience taught her the subtle nuances often missed in textbooks. It was invaluable for authentic communication. Eventually, after weeks of consistent paired practice, the daunting idea of how to talk to anyone in English no longer seemed an impossible dream for Lily. It had transformed into an achievable goal, a natural next step in her exciting linguistic journey. Empowered by her progress, Lily bravely started attending local English conversation meetups and cultural events organized in her city. This offered a diverse range of speakers and topics, expanding her exposure. She actively sought out opportunities to interact. She courageously initiated small talks with strangers, gradually expanding her comfort zone with each new interaction. From discussing the weather to sharing cultural insights, every conversation was a step forward. Her confidence grew with every spoken word. To her pleasant surprise, Lily discovered that most native and non-native English speakers she encountered were incredibly patient, understanding, and genuinely encouraging towards learners. Their kindness fueled her determination further. This positive reception built her trust. Each new conversation, no matter how brief or simple, was a profound victory for Lily. It validated her efforts and proved that consistent practice truly yields remarkable results. These small successes accumulated, paving the way for greater fluency. A truly crucial element woven throughout Lily's entire learning journey was the consistent emphasis on listen and practice. Her mentor had always stressed its paramount importance for acquiring true fluency. It was a foundational pillar. She deliberately immersed herself in English media, podcasts during her commute, movies with subtitles, and popular songs. This constant exposure trained her ear to different accents, speeds, and natural speech patterns. It felt like living within the language. This active and extensive listening practice helped her grasp natural English speech patterns, common idioms, and conversational connectors instinctively. It refined her comprehension skills, allowing her to follow rapid conversations with ease. Her ear became highly attuned. Lily understood profoundly that consistent listening provided the essential input necessary for effective and natural linguistic output. You cannot produce what you haven't absorbed. It was the fuel for her conversational engine. This symbiotic relationship was key. Her mentor constantly reiterated a simple yet powerful directive: how to talk in English. This wasn't merely about possessing vocabulary or grammar rules, but about the consistent, fearless act of vocalizing and engaging verbally. It was about doing. It was emphatically not just about knowing grammar rules or accumulating words, but about the consistent, often fearless, act of vocalization and active engagement. It was about pushing past hesitation and actually speaking, even imperfectly. Practice was paramount. The phrase, "why you should practice speaking," became Lily's daily mantra, a constant reminder of the ultimate goal. She understood that without active production, all her reading and listening would remain passive knowledge. Speaking was the ultimate test. Speaking practice was truly the vital bridge connecting her passive understanding to confident, active communication. It transformed abstract linguistic knowledge into practical, real-world interaction. This active engagement was the core of her progress. Finally, Lily also diligently worked on mastering the art of how to think and speak simultaneously. This was arguably the most advanced and transformative step in her entire linguistic journey. It was a cognitive rewiring process. Instead of laboriously translating thoughts from her native language into English, she deliberately trained her brain to directly formulate original thoughts and ideas in English from the outset. This mental leap was incredibly powerful. This direct thinking process significantly reduced hesitation, eliminated awkward pauses, and dramatically increased her fluency over time. Her conversations became seamless, flowing naturally from thought to word. It was a profound internal transformation. Lily's incredible journey was a shining testament to the power of consistent dedication, methodical progression, and unwavering belief in one's potential. Her transformation was an inspiring example for all aspiring English speakers. From a shy, hesitant beginner who struggled to utter a single English sentence, she had transformed into a truly confident, articulate, and engaging English speaker. Her voice, once silent, now resonated with fluency. Her inspiring story unequivocally proves that anyone, regardless of their starting point, can absolutely achieve fluency in English with the right strategic approach, consistent effort, and unwavering perseverance. The path is challenging but rewarding.